Good afternoon, my beloved brothers and sisters. I'd like to begin all things in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. We as black people, we already know that it's by God's grace and mercy that we have came this far. You know, they put in a database in a computer all the things they did to African people while here in America. And the computer spit it back out that we should be dead by now. That's just how rough slavery was towards us. That what they put on us, the scholars, just can't believe that we're still here today. So we always thank God, and with all good we do. So in the name of God, beneficent and merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, the one and true God. And I bear witness, and I thank Him for sending all the prophets and messengers to the world. We thank Him for Abraham. We thank Him for Moses. We thank Him for Jesus. And we thank Him for Prophet Muhammad. And we always have to thank God for all the messengers that He sent to America and try to save black people. We thank Him for Marcus Garvey. We thank Him for Noble Drew Ali. We thank Him for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We thank Him for Malcolm X. And when we started this show a month ago, you know, it was Black History Month. But like I said before I started this show, that Black History is every day of the year. We just don't take 1 month to celebrate our history. No, that's if you're conscious. But if you got that Negro European mind, you accept what they gave us. And that's 1 month out of a year. Once again, I saw people dressed in their African attire yesterday, looking beautiful. Sunday, looking beautiful. They had church program. I guess now they'll put their African attire in the closet and wait the next year to celebrate their history. Then you wonder what's wrong with black people. Why black people in this condition? Because we've been programmed by a beast. And so I thank God for this day. I thank Him for allowing me to be here on His beautiful earth this day. And I want to thank my brother, my big brother, Eddie Gray Hope, for allowing me to be on this podcast. And I want to thank the greatest DJ in the land, my big brother Dice. And I know my brother, Eddie Gray Hope, you know, that he put in so much time because he loves his people. And it's always been that way. When you try to do the right thing and raise your people from the dead, because they are truly dead. If you look in the black community, we are dead people. And the Bible calls us dead. When the Bible talking about the dead, He's not talking about nobody in 10th Avenue Cemetery. He's talking about people who are mentally dead. And that's why Jesus said they have eyes, but they cannot see. They have ears, but they cannot hear. They got a tongue, but they cannot speak. Deaf, dumb, and blind. And when He said that, He was saying that to the black people of America. We got eyes, but we can't even see what's going on around us. We got ears, but we can't even hear the truth that brother been preaching, and teaching. And so my brother Eddie Gray Hope, you know, he on a lot of stress, but it's going to be okay. Because they only come at you when you're doing something right. Long as that brother back in the 90s was selling crack, doing things that he was doing then, the police didn't even harass him. When he was selling crack, one of the biggest brothers in Meridian at that time, they never pulled him over. They never bomb rushed his house to try to see did he have any crack in his house. You know why? Because he was killing black people. They don't care nothing about black people. But soon he tried to wake up the conscience of people. That's when they come at him. If you study history, that's the pattern of these people. Long you in the world with Satan, the devil have you. But when you try to be godless, and I'm not talking about going to no church building, I'm talking about you saved. Because I don't understand, what is you saved from? With all this wickedness in the world, how can any church member say they're saved? Let me know that. What you saved from? When you see all the wickedness around you, you see all this injustice around you, but you're going to holler you saved. So my brother, We're trying to wake up the conscience of the people, and still trying to wake up the conscience of the people. But the enemy, who don't want to see us rise as a people, who want to keep us in substitute to the certain people, who want to do what they want to do, and see black people get the crumb from the loaf of bread. No matter what they do in Meridian, Mississippi at this time, you look at the building they building for them. Look at the Max. Look at this museum that they building. What benefit they're going to be to us as black people? Even though we're paying the taxpayer dollars, we're paying it. But what good is going to benefit us? But as long as we sit back idle, they're going to keep doing what they're doing to us. Look at that parking garage, what they built down there. What benefit is it to us? Somebody got paid, but it didn't benefit black people, none. And they say we are 65 to 75% black people in Meridian, Mississippi. We are the majority. How can the minority rule the majority unless they have more knowledge than the majority? How? But you got brothers like Mr. Gray. He tried to wake us up in the state that we are in. The enemy come at him. That's the pattern. That's the pattern. So I want to let us just listen to the oath of the ancestors, and then I get down to business.
Here we go. Oath to the ancestors. Lift your voices with me and the brothers as we honor those who have gone before us today. Okay? Let's say it like we mean it. Come on, everybody. Oh, ancestors, better than 1,000 midnights. African ancestors, it is to you that we, your children, give respect and honor. Yes. Oh, ancestors, we call upon you and welcome you in this place. African ancestors, let your presence fill this place. Oh, ancestors, who have been purposely excluded from the history books so that the world would not know of your greatness. Our African ancestors, who gave civilization to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave the arts to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave music to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave the sciences to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave mathematics to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave medicine to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave literature to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave philosophy to the world. Our African ancestors, who gave God consciousness to the world. Oh, ancestors, we thank you for devoting your life to make a future for us. Your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren now stand with us, strengthen us, guide us, teach us, and protect us from the snare of our enemies. Rise up, O African ancestors, and let our enemies be scattered, and give us the wisdom and the boldness to deal with our oppressors and those who would hinder the liberation and empowerment of our people. Rise up, O African ancestors, and live in us, and we will not fail to honor you. We will not fail to respect you. We will not fail to hear you, and we will not betray you. Ashe, Yebo.
Now, brothers and sisters, we want to take the time to honor just a few of the great Africans who have gone ahead of us. We call forth their great African names and honor them. To pharaohs Narmer, Zoser, Sneferu, Khufu, Khafre, Menkaure, and the great vizier and physician and multi-genius Imhotep, we say Ashe. To Queen Nitocris, Queen Sobek Neferu, Queen Ahotep, Queen Amos Nefertari, Queen King Hatshepsut, Nefertiti, Queen T, and Queen Nefertari II, we say Ashe. To Menkepen Ratahudi Mays, known as Thutmose III, Amenhotep III, Akhenaten, Tutankhamun, Ursula Akras, and Tepenra, Rametsu Meriamun, Ramses II,
we honor their African names.
Hannibal, and the great African warrior Shaka Zulu, we say Ashe. To all of the kings, queens, priests, and warriors of Nubia, Waset, Ethiopia, Kemet, Kenya, the Congo, Tanzania, Uganda, Central, South, and West Al-Kibu land, we say, Ashe. To the more than 600 million Africans whose lives were lost in the European invasions of Africa and in the Middle Passage, we say, Ashe. To the more than 300 million who have since lost their lives to racism and hate crimes, we say, Ashe. To Harriet Tubman, Ashe. Frederick Douglass, Ashe. Mary McLeod Bethune, Ashe. Nat Turner, Ashe. Fannie Lou Hamer, Ashe. Sojourner Truth, Ashe. Carter G. Woodson, Ashe. Booker T. Washington, Ashe. Dr. Charles Drew, Ashe. Noble Drew Ali, Ashe. Benjamin Banneker, Ashe. George Washington Carver, Ashe. Bishop Richard Allen, Ashe. Bishop Charles Harrison Mason, Ashe. Howard Thurman, Ashe. Mother Mahalia Jackson, Ashe. The Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garland, Ashe. Benjamin E. May, Ashe. Langston Hughes, Ashe. Medgar Evers, Ashe. Paul Robeson, Ashe. Dr. Martin Luther King, Ashe. Malcolm X, Ashe. Thurgood Marshall, Ashe. Mother Clara Hale, Ashe. Adam Clayton Powell, Ashe. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Ashe. Dr. Amos Wilson, Ashe. Dr. John Henry Clark, Ashe. Dr. John G. Johnson, Ashe. Dr. Shikanta Diop, Dr. Chancellor Williams, Dr. George G. M. James,
Dr. Asa Hilliard,
Priest Lumumba,
Ashe. We honor their names today.
Dr. Khalid Muhammad,
Ashe.
Dr. Jacob Carruthers,
Ashe.
Dr. Ishaka Musa
Ashe.
Barashano,
Ashe.
Brother Ray
Ashe.
Charles,
Ashe.
to our mothers and fathers,
Ashe.
our grandmothers and grandfathers,
Ashe.
to our great-grandmothers and great-grandfathers,
Ashe.
our brothers and sisters,
Ashe.
sons and daughters,
Ashe.
aunts and uncles,
Ashe.
nieces, nephews, cousins,
Yes.
all
Ashe.
those who have gone ahead of us
Yes.
and have made their ancestral transition to their life, deeds, legacy,
Yes.
and contributions, we say,
Ashe.
Ashe. Again we say,
Ashe.
Ashe. Again we say,
Ashe. Sing along with me, Allahu Akbar. Come on. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Those are Arabic words from the English words that say these words. God is great and he's worthy to be praised. I say hallelujah. God is great and he's worthy to be praised. Oh yes, family. I say hallelujah. So God make us one. We all should be one. And then the unbelievers will come and say you are with us. God make us one. We all should be one. And then the unbelievers will come and say you are with us. God make us one. We all should be one. And then the unbelievers will come and say you are with us. Oh yes.
Welcome back to the Bell Ringer Show. I hope and pray that you enjoyed that oath to the ancestors. We always have to give our ancestor honor because we're standing on their shoulders. No matter what we do in this life, it was their blood and sacrifice that got us where we are today. So I want to get started and get to the nitty gritty. Could you put up that picture, brother? Hoover. Yeah, Hoover. It's a picture on the screen right now. This monster right here is named J. Edgar Hoover. Gay Edgar Hoover. Gay Edgar Hoover. He was the head of FBI agents for 50 years in Washington, D.C. This dude right here, he was treacherous toward black people. He was against any black organization that trying to help the upliftment of black people. I'm going to read something that what he wrote himself. He said his main objection was to prevent the rise of a Messiah who could unify and electrify the militant black national movement. That was his main objective, to prevent the rise of the black Messiah. Now, what did J. Edgar Hoover know that you don't know? He said he want to stop the rise of a black Messiah. But now you looking for a white man to come to save you. But this was a white man to say that the Messiah would be black. He was a 33-degree Mason, what we call a Shriner. He know the Bible. He know the Quran. And he know the condition that black people was in. God only come to help the people who are oppressed. He ain't never on the oppressor side, the one who do the oppressor. He on the one that the oppressor oppressing. So J. Edgar Hoover know that if the Messiah was going to come, he was going to come as a black man to help black people. Now this who he said that he believed was or could be the Messiah. He said Malcolm X, Stokely Carmichael, Elijah Muhammad. All these aspired this position. He said Martin Luther King could be be a contender for that position, should he abandon his supported obedience to white people. He said, now King, he kind of fit this puzzle of the black Messiah. But see, I'm not worried about Martin Luther King. This is what he say. Because Martin Luther King loved the white people. And Martin Luther King was about nonviolence. But now he said Malcolm X, now he could be that man. But we know Malcolm got assassinated. He said Elijah Muhammad, but see, Elijah Muhammad was old at that time, in his 60s. So he said the Messiah, when it comes, he's going to be a young person trying to liberate black people. Now this man right here, he was rotten to the core. It was a great black leader in America named Honorable Marcus Garvey. Now this time the FBI destroyed black organization in America. They pinned a charge on the Honorable Marcus Garvey. They pinned a mail fraud charge against him. Is a lady working in the post office at that time set Marcus Garvey up, and they got him for mail fraud. J. Edgar Hoover know the brother didn't do it, but he know at that time Marcus Garvey was the strongest black leader that we had. Marcus Garvey had over 5 million followers, not just in America, around the world. He had over 5 million followers. And he was teaching black people to do something for themselves. Stop begging. The man was a brilliant leader. And J. Edgar Hoover set this brother up. That's how it be when you're a leader and you trying to wake your people up. They always come at you. They always send agents at you. They always frame you up. And the sad part about it, when they came at Marcus Garvey, his followers won't support him like they should have. And the FBI know this because they had infiltrated them like they infiltrate our organization. Did you see the movie Judas the Black Messiah? It's a man played the role of J. Edgar Hoover and how Hoover did the Black Panther Party. How he used to write letters to their leader, to the organization of gang leaders, to the Black Stone leader, and say that Fred Hampton wrote the letter, and tell the Black Stone leader that the Vice Lord leader wrote the letter. This is the United States government. How can you keep putting trust in this government when this government is the #1 enemy to black people? I'm asking you, how can you keep putting trust in these people? This man framed Marcus Garvey, one of the greatest black leaders we ever had in this country, waking black people up, owning land in this country. But they framed this brother and got him deported back to Africa, Jamaica. It's sad. And they the same people today. They'll destroy your leaders, because they understand the only leader that we have in Meridian, Mississippi to speak up for the pain and hurt of black people is Brother Eddie Gray Hope and Queen Lolo. Can't nobody deny that listen to this podcast. The only two people speak up for black people in Meridian, Mississippi is Eddie Gray Hope and Lolo Allen. The only two. You get the news from Lolo before you get it from WTOK. Anything happening in Meridian, she gonna post it. WTOK don't even post some of the things that she posts because they don't give a damn about black people. They don't care about all this shooting in Meridian. They don't care about when a person gets shot in Meridian. They don't care about when a person get killed in Meridian. They don't say nothing about it sometimes. But you check out Lolo page. People call me, did you hear about that shooting? No, I ain't hear about it. Go on Lolo page and see it. So that's the whole key, to silence these two people right here. If we silence them, we ain't got to worry about the rest of them. We don't have to worry about the rest of them. We get rid of the head, the body always gonna fall. And that's the main goal of J. Edgar Hoover. Research this man right here. He was evil. He was evil to black people. And they got a building in Washington, D.C. named after him right now. J. Edgar Hoover building. It's right there in Washington, D.C. They can do what they want to do to black people. Name building after black people. And black people just pacified. They don't care. And that's why we're in the condition we are today, brothers and sisters. We don't care. We don't have love for one another like we should have. We the majority of Meridian, Mississippi. But look at the position we're in Meridian, Mississippi. What do our children have to look up to? What? What? Not nothing. Let's go to the next slide, brother. Now, most of everybody who watching that's podcast probably know this brother right here. It's Meridian finest, David Ruffin. They unveiled a mirror, I think it was Monday, of brother David Ruffin, who was the greatest ever in Motown. Smokey Robinson, he came to the casino in Philadelphia about 3 years ago. I went to his concert. He said out of his own mouth that David Ruffin was the greatest to come through Motown. But it's just sad that we honor our entertainer. We honor our sport figures. We put them on pedestals. And you wonder why we're in the position we are today. David Ruffin, he deserved that mirror. I wish they could have did it when he was alive 30 years ago. It'd have been greater. But white people don't honor their heroes and sheroes when they dead. You go to Dallas, Texas right now, you see George H. Bush Freeway. They did that while George Bush was alive. You go to Port Arthur, Texas, and you see Jimmy Johnson Freeway. They still alive. They can drive down that freeway and see their name on there. But brother David Ruffin, he dead and gone. They honor all great ones while they dead, but they be alive. And I was glad to see them with that mirror of our brother David Ruffin. But I want to ask a serious question. What have Mr. Ruffin did for Meridian? That's all I want to know. You know, in his heyday when he was in Detroit, making millions, did he come back to Meridian and say, look here, I remember the team center. I remember Westler School. So I want to do this and that for that. That's all I'm asking. But we jump up and honor people like this. You know, and not taking nothing away from this brother, because he's the greatest to come through there. But I'm saying, why do we honor so people who haven't did nothing for the community? Meridian's in bad shape. He didn't put it that way, but he could have did a lot to help Meridian. He could have came here and built a studio. He come from Why Not, Mississippi. He could have built a studio and said, look here, brother, I come out these woods. I want to show y'all how to do this thing now. I done made it. But we honor people like this. And I hope ain't nobody getting angry. I ain't speaking out of hate. I'm just speaking out of truth. And I remember hearing Mr. Farrakhan speaking about Brother David Ruffin. He said in 1989, I think Brother David Ruffin called him and say, Mr. Farrakhan answered the phone, and they told it was David Ruffin. He asked, how can I help you, David? The brother said that he was in Phoenix, Arizona. Some Arabs had kidnapped him because he had signed a contract with these brothers. And they were paying the brother off in drugs and money. So Mr. Farrakhan said, how can I help? He wanted Mr. Farrakhan to intervene and try to renegotiate the contract. So Mr. Farrakhan had told our brother, say, when I come back from the Middle East, that he was going to get back with the brother. And so Mr. Farrakhan, so when he got back, 2 weeks later, the number had been changed. He said he didn't hear from David Ruffin no more. The last thing that he did hear from him, that when they came on the news that our brother had died. You know, we honor this brother in the good that he did for the world, for enlightening the people in the world with the music. But we got to start honoring people what they do about their education now. You know, it's just like in high school. They have pep rally for the football player. What about the people who making straight A's? Won't you have pep rally for them? To inspire other people. Well, if they can do that, we can too. So let's start on our great hero and she role in the right way. Let's go to the next picture, brother. Now, this queen right here, I hope y'all can see the picture. But this is Miss Paula Hollenberg. Now, we know about Rosa Parks. We know about Harriet Tubman. We know about Sojourner Truth. Why don't people in Meridian know about this great civil rights lady, Miss Paula Hollenberg? This is a great lady. Man, Brother Dennis Ray had talked to a couple councilmen trying to get her on 18th Avenue, trying to get that name out to Miss Paula, because that's what she did. A lot of walking, a lot of talking, and a lot of teaching. When I first met Paula, I think I was about 8 years old. I was going to St. John Church, and they had Bible school there. And Miss Paula used to come up there and talk. I used to see her talking on the corner about St. Joseph Church. And I'll be honest with you, at that time, man, I wasn't conscious. I thought she was crazy. She used to tell me how that she used to be with Martin Luther King, with the 3 civil rights brothers who got killed. And she would just go on and on. And I used to say to myself, this lady crazy. But when I became conscious and started studying what she was saying, this was a great lady. I understand Rosa Parks. She sit on the bus, wouldn't go back to the back of the bus, and sit in the front and say she was tired. I understand that. But this lady right here, she just didn't sit down. She didn't sit down. She marched with the people. She fought with the people. This is a great sister. So won't we honor her? Won't we name 18th Avenue after her? Why? We don't do that. Now, she was great. She a great inspiration for young people to study and read about. Why we don't honor this sister right here? I'm going to read something that she said out of her own mouth. She said, the KKK spit on me. They told me they'll kick me in my back until my nose bleed. They called me a bastard, and they told me they wish I was dead in my mama grave. But I never gave up. I never gave up the struggle, and I won't give up. Not till everybody is free. Now that's something to think about. Now these crackers, the KKK, the low-down bastard told his sister that they want to kick her until her nose started bleeding. But guess what? She didn't stop. She didn't stop. The 3 civil rights brothers, they used to come to her house. She used to cook. They said that she was like a surrogate mother to them. Martin Luther King, she met him. I'm talking about we got a history right here in Meridian, Mississippi. But we look over people like this. This sister was a shining star to us. She was a freedom fighter for us. She stood on the battlefield for us. During the voting poll, she was trying to register people to vote. Now, why we can't honor people like this? Why our children don't know nothing about this lady right here? Right from Meridian. But they don't know nothing about this sister. But we're going to change things when my brother Eddie Great Hope Bill Councilman Ward 2. We'll change all this. I think that is Ward 2, right? Okay. We'll change all this. So, that's what I want to speak on, a little about black history on that topic right there. But I want to go to another subject right here real quick. I went to a black history program at Velma Young Center Friday. And, you know, like I always talk about black history, how important it is. And I understand that a person cannot teach what they don't know. And the principal of Parkview is Shanna L. Thompson, Miss Thompson. And when I went to the Black History program, I looked at all the young children because they not kids. Stop calling your children kids. What is a kid? A kid is a goat. What is a goat? A goat is a mischievous animal. And your Bible said God said He's going to separate the sheep from the goat. What's the difference between a sheep and a goat? A sheep, nature is humble. The goat is mischievous. Now, white people want to call their kid goats. That's fine with them because they are some mischievous people. But black people, please stop calling your children kids. It's no different from me calling a woman a bitch. What is a bitch? A bitch is a four-legged dog. So my queen is not no bitch, and your children is not no goat. So please stop calling them that. And when I went to this Black History program, I was sitting down there just watching. And I saw all my little children come out there marching. And they were dressed, some like Aunt Jemima's, stuff tied around their heads. And I said to myself, now that's sad. Why do we start history from after we got freed from slavery, really, in America? And this, I'm going to read something about this program. I want you to listen. She had the welcome first, Carter Hall. The next thing they had was the Pledge of Allegiance of the flag. They had a little young brother holding the flag up. The little young brother couldn't be no more than 3'5". The flag was 10 feet tall. And he's struggling trying to hold the flag up. And the teacher told him, hold it up high. I said to myself, this is sad. There's no difference between that flag and the Confederate flag. Both of them red, white, and blue. Once upon a time, that flag used to have 13 stars on it. That's for the 13 colonies. Until the North and South and the United States, united as they say. Now it got 50 stars. But it's the same flag. We was in slavery under this flag. But they got this little brother holding this flag up high. And the teacher say, hold the flag up high. And then now I'm going to read this program to you. It's the Pledge of Allegiance of the flag. That's the first thing they did. The next thing they did was Parkview School Pledge. Then the next thing was prayer. Now, don't you see something out of order? Shouldn't you have prayer first? You should have prayer first before you say the Pledge of Allegiance. Because your allegiance should be only nothing to God. Now, let's read the Pledge of Allegiance. It said, the Pledge of Allegiance. It was written by a man named Francis Bellarmine in 1892. What were black people at then? 1892. Jim Crow laws and all other kind of laws. But that flag was flying high. It's our I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, individual with the liberty and justice for all. Now let's go over this. What is a pledge? A pledge is a promise or a guarantee. So you making a promise to this nation. Allegiance means to swear to something that completely truthful, genuine, or sincere, or devotion to a flag, not to God, because you put God last, but you put the flag first. Then you wonder why our children act the way they act. You done took God out of everything. You put God on the back burner. You make God last in all we do. That's not the black culture. That's not our way of life. That's the European culture. But look what we did. We say the pledge of allegiance first. We say prayer last. When I open up this show, I always give God all honor and all praise. Because I know I cannot do nothing in this life of good without the Creator. But now they said the pledge of allegiance to the flag. And look at the lies they tell in this pledge now. Listen to the lies. In the Republican for which it stands. So they ain't said democracy, they said republic. So American is a republican. It's not no democracy. One nation under God. One nation. American is divided. You got black against white. You got brown against the red. This is a divided nation. But it got our children reciting this. One nation under God. What God? These people don't believe in God. They believe in God. They want to treat black people the way they treated us. What God is they talking about? But they got our children reciting this mess. Individual. Liberty now. Liberty and justice for all. Now look at this lie. With liberty. Liberty means freedom. And we still as black people fighting for our freedom right now. We still fighting for our freedom as I speak. In justice for all, a police can shoot a black man down for nothing because he thought he had a gun. He thought he had a gun now. I thought he had a gun. So I feared for my life and I shot him. And he get off the hook. How's that justice for all? But they got our little children saying this pledge, programming them with white supremacy, putting that in their mind. And these little children grow up to believe this, justice for all, until they get in some trouble. Then they find out it's not justice for all, it's justice for them. And at this time in 1896, while they were saying this pledge, Supreme Court Plessy versus Ferguson state that segregation of races is perfectly okay. They said as they was writing this pledge, allegiance to the flag, the Supreme Court, the high court in the land, said segregation is okay in this country. But we saying a pledge of allegiance right today. We letting our children go to these schools, training their mind, killing their little mind with this big lie. One nation under God. This ain't one nation under no God. Cannot nobody prove that. Only way Americans come together as one is somebody bomb America, like they did the World Trade Center. Then they all want to come as one. But this country divided. This is a divided nation. Black people still on the bottom. The wealth gap still divided. The school system is still divided. In that Black History program, I counted 60 children. You had 3 white children, and this is from kindergarten on to the 5th grade. You had 3 white children at Parkview, and you had 1 little Asian girl. 1 Asian girl, 3 white. The school is more segregated now than it was in the 60s, in the 50s. White people do not want to be with us. They don't want to be around us. They hate to be around us at work. Sunday is the most segregated day in the year on Sundays. Most segregated day is on Sunday in the churches. White people got their white church. Black people got their black church. White people got their white heaven. Black people got their black hell. And that's how it go. That's how it go. And the sad thing about it is this right here. The way we act, the way they have trained our thoughts, you can't too much blame them. The way we act. You know, I was looking at the video about the fight in the mall. Now, they got all kind of views. Because they already know what kind of mind black people got. We like the gospel. We like to backbite. We like to talk about each other. We like to put each other down. You go on every Facebook page. And the FBI, they go on Facebook page. They already can tell where your mind is from your Facebook page. All they got to do is scroll down, see certain things. They already know where your mind is. They know your mind full of bull. They know your mind is conscious, trying to wake up, trying to wake other people up. They already know that. But if you post a fight on Facebook, you get thousands of views. That lets you know our mind is in the gutter. But you post something up there, a young teenager making a straight A, 9-year-old going to Harvard University, you don't hardly get no likes. That lets you know where our mind at, black people. We got to wake up. We're at war. We is at war. In the skit they had at that black history program Friday, they had a little skit of black children picking cotton. That's sad. This 2021, a black history program with little black children picking cotton. Then you wonder why our mind is conditioned there in today. Then you had little young brother with holes in their hand and shells in their hand. And they singing old slavery songs. Now you see why our mind or what they are today. That's black history to our children. Why we couldn't take them back before slavery? Why we couldn't have bricks out there, let them build pyramids? Why? We could have had bricks out there, letting the little children show them our forefathers built the pyramids. But like I said, if the teacher don't know, she can't teach what she don't know. She cannot teach that. So in order for us to come out of this condition that we're in, we got to get the knowledge ourselves. It's a must. We are at war, people. We're at war. And the enemy, he don't sleep. He planning. He's planning. And I was listening to my brother, Bull Jenny, last night talking. And Bull Jenny was talking about the public school system here in Meridian, Mississippi. And it's sad. Now you got great thinking mind, like our brother Eddie Gray Hope, like our brother Bull Jenny. Two of the greatest minds that we got in Meridian, Mississippi. Hands down. Can't nobody deny that. Because we don't like them because they personality or something happening in their life. We don't even want to listen to them. But white people listen to them. That's one thing about the enemy. He listened to a brilliant mind. But he put things, obstacles in the way for the illiterate not to listen to these brothers. But like this brother was saying last night, the Meridian Public School on a D level. A D level. That's sad. And say it got a 50% dropout rate. That's what the brother said. A 50% dropout rate. And we want to build buildings. We want to build building, beautiful building, when the life of human beings are being destroyed by miseducation. When the people come to a city, they don't want to see the building. They want to see the condition of the people in. Black people are in terrible condition. We can't deny that. We are in terrible condition. In this public food system, that's all it is. A public food system. We got to rethink what we're doing. people. And I hope this election right here be one of the great elections to wake us up as a people. I want to thank you for tuning in to the Bell Ringing Show, and I hope and pray that you got some kind of knowledge out of this show. May God bless us and keep us safe till the next time. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Have a great day.